What's up, Rockstars? Welcome to another video, this time covering the most funded Kickstarter of all time and why it should be important to you. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. If you appreciate the videos I make every single week for you guys, there's a link down below. Feel free to join them for even $1 a month. It helps greatly. Thank you so much. And also a huge shout out to my sponsor for today's video, Into the AM. They make cool shirts just like this. I happen to be wearing one. I did not plan on recording this video today, but I'm always wearing these things. I love them. They are so comfy. They look like brand new even after you wash them. They keep the quality, good fit, all that, great price. As you can see, they have a whole bunch of really cool new stuff. Like this one is, I think, the latest, the Sky Lanterns tee. Looks freaking sweet. They have a 3 for $60 deal going on right now. I have an exclusive 10% off link down in the description below. Go ahead and click that. That works on any deal they have, any sale they have, all of that. So if you want that 3 for $60, it's $20. You get 10% off of that or more. There is a ton of cool stuff here that is just, seriously, you'll get compliments. I do every single time just about that I walk out with one of these. I literally can't count how many times I do. It's constant. And that's because they're cool shirts and they look great. So anyway, good quality product at a good price. Heck yeah. Again, link down below for them. Thank you so much, Into the AM, for the sponsorship. Now let's go ahead and talk about this. This is a surprise 4 secret novels by Brandon Sanderson. It has made $25 million. It did that in just a few days. Like literally a handful of days. It made over $20 million the first day. This thing has exploded. 106,000 backers. It blew the Pebble smartwatch away as the most funded Kickstarter ever. And it still has 24 days to go. It is on its way to also becoming one of the highest backed ones as well. So it's currently, I think, around number 5, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Now, why is this important? Why on earth would I cover this? I normally cover Kickstarter board games. Board games and Kickstarter are super popular, of course. It's like a third of Kickstarter is board games. It's one of the better industries on there. We all know this. However, this is just books. So why would you care about this? It's actually a very, very important reason. I'm going to shift a little bit to YouTube because you guys might remember something like this. This is PewDiePie and T-Series. Now, once upon a time, they were both under 100 million subscribers, and there was a race to see who would reach 100 million subscribers first. Would it be T-Series or would it be PewDiePie? Now, famously, PewDiePie lost that and T-Series got there first. And not only that, but as you can see now, they have almost lapped him with another 100 million. They're at 209 million subscribers. Now, why is this a big deal? A lot of people actually point to this as saying that this is the fundamental, when T-Series beat PewDiePie at 100 million subscribers, that was a shift in YouTube and what YouTube had become. Back in the day, YouTube was for people, right? The whole tag at the end of it was YouTube, broadcast yourself. You might be old enough to remember YouTube when it looked like that. It was very early on. This was before they even started paying people, and then they started paying a few people. It was an invite-only thing. It was a crazy thing. And there was a lot of progressive things that got that. Paying people is one of them. But this was really person versus company, right? And that's the big deal here, is that the company won. In other words, YouTube now has, Comedy Central uploads and, highlights of Hell's Kitchen and, all these other reality TV shows and advertisements, and companies like, like shoe companies and clothing companies and food companies all have their own YouTube where they make their own videos and get millions of views. There's the kids stuff that gets billions of views. That's wild. But the point is that this was a time where we were trying to see, okay, what's bigger, a creator, a YouTuber, or a company? And the company won. The company is bigger and better at YouTube than the people are. In other words, right now, YouTube is for companies. That's the main thing. That's the big thing. They are bigger than us. by a lot, as you can see. All T-Series does is upload, like music videos and trailers to movies and stuff. It's not the stuff YouTube used to be about, right? So that was kind of the big point here. So what's really great about this is that, as opposed to even something like a Pebble smartwatch or something like that, the reason I like this is because it's Brandon Sanderson. Now, you don't have to like Brandon Sanderson. I don't know the guy, so I can't comment on his character. I've seen a few, videos of him with some, quips about some opinion of his or whatever. I've read The Wheel of Time, and so like I know him from that. I haven't read any Mistborn or anything like that. I haven't read like any of his stuff. I want to, Stormlight Archive, stuff like that. He's very popular, but the reason this is such a big deal is because it's just him. It's by Dragonsteel Entertainment, which he started to, publish his his books and like fancy ways, like leather-bound books and memorabilia and stuff like that, right? But also, this is not just because it's Brandon Sanderson. I mean, George R. R. Martin, is something people know. Stephen King, another author people know. I don't think they'd have this effect though. He has years of building a community, of running a YouTube channel, of uploading his lectures on how to write a story online from the college that he teaches at, and just all this stuff, right? Writing and constantly putting out content. In a lot of ways, he's kind of like a YouTuber. He's constantly putting out content. He's constantly interacting with his fans and building that relationship, right? So he has this community around him that I'm not actually even a part of, but he has that, and I recognize that, to where he can then go on Kickstarter and say, hey, I'm doing this. Do you want to do this with me? And of course, now everybody's saying yes. No, let's pause that for a moment and look at what he has to offer, because I think they're tied together. So he has these 4 novels that he wrote, kind of over the COVID break, as he explains it. They are kind of great entry points. They're not part of really any series. 3 of them are in his world where all of his stories kind of take place, but that doesn't mean a whole. You can go into these pretty blind, so they're good entry points. But what he's really, really offering here, and if you look at the backers and who's backing what, a lot of people are just backing the book. 25,000 getting the hardcover, another 22,000 grabbing the audiobook, another 25,000 grabbing the ebook, right? But then there are still thousands of people getting this year of Sanderson, where he does essentially a loot crate, where you can kind of celebrate the projects that he's doing, project 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, they know nothing about this, right? It's a secret project. They don't even know the name of it or what it's about or anything like that. But because it's him, and because he's already built goodwill, this is not his first Kickstarter, it's his second one. He's already done another one for The Way of Kings, and he'll be doing another one for a future release on that, I believe, for the 11th anniversary or something like that. I know he commented on. Either way, he delivered this. He went to Kickstarter and it did quite well, 6.7 million, right? So he already had this following for making a lot of content, for making good content that people enjoy, and then they follow him here on Kickstarter and they get the 10th anniversary leatherbound edition and they get it and it's great. And so he doesn't have any of that huge bad publicity for a botched sale or anything like that. And now he comes in on this one and it explodes. We see that in the board game industry a lot, where Kingdom Death the Monster was the biggest one for a while, and it kind of had it had a canceled one, then it had a modest one, and then it had the explosion one, right? Frosthaven that just beat that. Same thing, it's the highest funded board game. It started with Gloomhaven. They delivered Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven was great. They say, okay, now here's Frosthaven. And everybody's like, okay, let's do Frosthaven. In other words, it's nothing but goodwill and outreach and making a good product. And that combined is rewarded, and I think that's a great thing. This could have gone to some big company that decided to plop themselves on Kickstarter and use Kickstarter just like T-Series is using YouTube right? Where it didn't go to PewDiePie. But in this case, I'm considering this a win for the community. This is a PewDiePie win. This is, and whether you like PewDiePie or not, the concept of a YouTuber versus a company, or a creator, in this case, an author versus just some corporation that just wants to do a pre-order of something, or a collector's edition of something like that, or whatever, and just get a whole bunch of money where they don't really need it. They don't have the community. They just have marketing, right? So this is why this is important. It's important because of the circumstances around it, of who Brandon Sanderson is and how he's gotten to where he is now. So anyway, I thought that was important to cover, just so that you're aware of where Kickstarter is right now. Obviously, they're going to make a pretty penny on this as well. So Kickstarter's pretty happy with Brandon Sanderson being on there. I'm sure they will welcome him with open arms once again for his third Kickstarter. And it's probably something you might want to at least be a little aware of. So when people mention it, you know what it is they're talking about. What do you think about this? Is this actually important to track something like this? Like when we see like these counts here, is that actually important? Is there some deeper meaning to company versus creator, or person versus entity? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, what you think about that, whether it's in the board game space, whether it's just at large, whether it's YouTube or Kickstarter or the internet or businesses, small businesses versus mom and pop stores versus Walmart kind of stuff. Like, I would love to hear your thoughts on this because I find this fascinating. I want to see, why did Brandon Sanderson do so well here? Why did this explode? That's my thoughts. I think it's just a lot of good product and a lot of outreach on his part, and just a quantity too, and already proving that he'll deliver. I think all of that combined, just combined to kind of make the perfect storm around this, to where people are just like, yeah, we love your stuff, we want more of it, and we trust you. And unlike how you can kind of trust a company, not that Brandon Sanderson himself is shipping these out, but you still get that connection with the creator, right? That actual person that you feel like you know. So anyway, my 2 cents. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you are looking forward to more Kickstarter coverage, especially around the board game or 3D printing industry, that is what I do. So there is a subscribe button down there as well. And again, if you appreciate these videos, go ahead and drop me $1 a month. I would greatly appreciate it. You have no idea how little that might be to you, but how much that means to me. It all adds up. And I thank you so much for it. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys again really soon. Bye.